Welcome back to Investing with Confidence, the third section of Investing with Confidence. Al, you having a good time today?
Wonderful time.
It's always great to be talking about the financial markets, but most importantly, helping our listeners make smart investing decisions, especially with these great markets and opportunities that we're seeing right now. We're doing investing classes right here in Bloomington. If you missed that, we had a lot of people call and text in. Make sure to text the word invest to the number 484848. When you do that, we're going to send a text back with a link. You have to pick this link to pick a date. When you pick a date for this investing class, whether it's here in Bloomington or right online, and when you do it online, it's only about 45 minutes, you're going to receive a cryptocurrency foundations course. And there's some different topics in there on decentralized finance, how the blockchain works, but also how to transact cryptocurrency. So if you're brand new to that, it's all about learning something new. And that's the great thing about the markets, Al, is you can learn something new every single day in the financial markets, whether you're in stocks, options, futures, Forex, cryptocurrency. They're all doing different things. And it's about understanding how the institutions are moving these markets so we can trade like them. And as Al was talking about earlier, our strategy that Online Trading Academy has is it's a strategy designed to teach you to follow the big banks to trade like them. And that leads me into in retirement is, investors or retail investors, which is the public, just don't really have enough in retirement, and they struggle during retirement. They live on less and have less fun and all that stuff they're told to do. Well, I tell you what, boring, right? Well, let's try to help our listeners upgrade their lifestyle and have the potential to do that. But so first, before we do that, let's talk about why it's so important that when you retire, that job stopping, that income stream has stopped, why it's so important to have a second source already created before you retire.
Right. Well, when you leave your job for whatever reason, the income goes away. And I think this is the important thing. Transamerica did a study, and what they found is that the two biggest issues for boomers who are going into retirement now, number one is outliving their savings or investments, and number two is about 46% of the people that they interviewed were afraid Social Security either won't be around or won't be enough.
Yeah.
So if you're concerned about outliving your savings and investments, what can you do about it? Well, there are assets that you can trade. When you leave a company, when your 401k or your 403b has been with an employer for a number of years, when you retire or leave a company for whatever reason, that is your money to take with you. You can roll it into a self-directed IRA and give yourself the opportunity to have many more choices, which are potentially much better as far as their return potential. I'm talking about, in addition to stock, you can trade the futures market, the foreign exchange market, the options market, those assets, those markets that we teach you about. We have classes in at the Online Trading Academy. The reason that it would be important to learn about those and learn about them before you retire, they'll help you with the income portion of your life while you're still working, while you're gathering assets. But then when you go into retirement, what do? Most advisors are going to tell you, well, you should rotate more into fixed income. How have those been performing recently?
Anytime you talk to somebody retired, they say, I can't go do that because I'm living on a fixed income.
Right.
Well, don't be stuck doing that. Don't be stuck with the masses. Do something a little different.
Right. Yeah. And I can remember my dad, when he retired, said the same thing. But he had a pension that gave him a fixed income that was a nice income. Now, most people, if they retire and they have fixed income in bonds or treasuries, those are returning a rate that probably is going to end up being negative when you consider inflation.
I was going to say, what's the returns on those right now?
Right. So people either are forced to put their money in a market that they don't know about and they take on too much risk, or they're too conservative and they run out of money quickly because of that. So it's important to learn the income strategies that you can use in retirement, which allows you to take a small amount of that retirement money. I know a lot of people are concerned that they really get protective of that retirement account. Well, you can take small portions of it and use those leveraged assets to maybe replace that income. But you also want to make sure that whatever you have in your retirement accounts grows and doesn't just get depleted over time. You can't do anything about Social Security. You can't control it. The only thing you can control are those assets that you have. What Wall Street oftentimes tell you to do is either don't retire when you want to retire, work longer, get a side job, or learn to live on less. That's when you said boring, boring and depressing.
Yeah.
That's not what you want to do. Enhance your lifestyle, and there are ways to do that without putting a lot of time or effort into it. When you retire, you want to maximize the use of your time. So learn how to do this in a way where you can spend a very little amount of time controlling those retirement assets.
Yeah, I have a lot of conversations with people that are looking to enhance or upgrade their life when they get into retirement, and they're being told, "Oh, work longer." I mean, retirement age keeps going up. What's it at? 66 or 68 is what they say.
Eventually, it'll probably be 70.
I tell you what, if most people, you see 66, 68-year-old people, and you're like, how are you still working? And it's like they're struggling to go to work every day. I mean, your body only lasts so long, and you have to learn different techniques and strategies, but you have to do that now before you retire. Don't be the masses. Be someone that does things differently. You look at all the wealthy people in the world. Do they go to work to a 9 to 5 every single day and do nothing about it? No, they have multiple sources. So when they do want to slow down, they're not just stopping and doing everything. That's not what retirement is. Retirement is being able to live the lifestyle that you choose to live. It starts in these investing classes to learn what's available, what's possible in these markets. So just text the word invest to the number 484848 to get started, to learn different techniques for income potential during retirement. When you do that, you're going to get a link. You have to click this link, which is otamin.com. Pick a date. We're going to give away a financial quick start kit just for doing that. Al, you mentioned something about a lot of people that they have retirement accounts and they get protective of it, which means they do nothing, which is not protecting it. It's just keeping it at risk.
That's a good point. Right?
Talk about why it's so important to understand how to protect your accounts, not just be protective of it.
That's a great point, because there's a big difference between being protective of what you have and protecting what you have. The most important thing is protecting what you have. When you retire, it's after you have put 30 or 40 years or more into a job, putting some money aside for hopefully those golden years when you retire. The last thing that you want to have happen is what happened to a lot of people back in 2008, for example. We have a lot of students here who retired in 2007, near the end of 2007, early part of 2008, and saw 40 to 60% of their retirement money disappear. That was because of the drawdown in the S&P 500. We went into a recession there. That was a huge hit to what they had worked so hard for. So you should always make sure that you're protected, no matter whether you are just starting out as an investor or trader or whether you're retired. One of the things that we teach our students, this sounds kind of strange, is how to lose, because you will not be 100% successful. Nobody is. But the people that are successful as traders and investors know that there is a way to make sure if you're wrong, it's a very small loss. And if you're right, you want the wins to be much larger. And that's the real goal there, is to be able to have high potential returns with minimal risk. And that's a skill that we teach our students. Most people don't know how to do it, which is unfortunate, but it's part of a plan. And this is another important thing. When you go into retirement, you may have a financial plan that should be different when you go into retirement. But just the bottom line is, have a plan that controls the emotions. It identifies the right assets for you to trade, and it really keeps your thinking as much as possible out of it, because that's what's going to cause problems for you.
Yeah, I'm glad we just got to talk about that, because you brought a great point. People just become protective of what they have in their retirement account. And then they just let it sit, and it just doesn't do a whole lot. I was having a conversation with some family members, and like, I have these 401ks and IRAs, and they're just not doing anything. So you have to understand and learn these different techniques to have the potential to grow them and protect them. That's why you cannot be naive to these markets. Most people listening right now are saying, hey, markets have been going up forever. Why would I worry about protecting what I have? Well, tell you what, do you buy insurance on your home? Do you buy insurance on your car? Do you buy insurance on yourself? You never know, because you have to be ready for what's to come. So call 952-814-4410 to start protecting your retirements and not just being protective of what you have. Text the word invest to the number 484848. When you do that, we're going to text you right back. I know a lot of people say, I'll text this and I'll do nothing after that. There's one more step. You have to click the link that we put in this text. It's the registration page to get set up to our free investing class, whether it's in Bloomington or online. When you do that, there's also a little preview on the investing class on what you can expect to learn in there. It's about a 5-minute video, so you can understand and learn what you're going to know, so you can prepare if you have any questions. Bring questions in to this investing class. 952-814-4410. Al, you were talking about earlier. You were talking about you have to teach you and learn how to lose in the markets. I'm gonna flip that a little bit. Herm Edwards once said in a press conference, famous press conference, you play to win the game. That's what we do, and that's what we want to do in the financial markets. Text the word invest to the number 484848 for this free investing class right here in Bloomington or online at your own home. This is Josh and Al, Investing with Confidence. We'll be right back.